Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in to this latest episode of Fresh Review Friday. So sit back, relax, grab your cigar, maybe a drink, and enjoy.
See you later, Navigator.
Sorry. Don't know why I did that. Oh gosh, I gotta come up with better material. That was a very weak reference to the film Flight of the Navigator, an old 80s Disney movie, live action Disney movie. Odds are a bunch of you have never seen it, so you're gonna have to completely ignore what I just did, though you probably won't be able to. Anyways, what's up guys? Welcome to another edition of Fresh Review Friday. I'm Kyle, you're watching Dad Smoking Cigars. Thanks for joining me. And this week, I am once again branching out into unfamiliar territory, and when you're branching out into unfamiliar territory, you need a navigator. Yeah, I did it. I said it. So, I am smoking this week the Adventura Cigars The Navigator. Cue music. Hey guys, welcome back once again to another edition of Fresh Review Friday. Thanks for joining me. You're watching Dad Smoking Cigars, sponsored by Costa Cuevas Cigars, and jumping right back into another fresh review. Now, this was sent to me in a bundle of cigars that I'm still working my way through. A number of them are blended at the Aroa factory, so I'm pretty sure this one is also among the same company in terms of where it's been blended or who it's been blended by. And this week I am checking out the Adventura The Navigator Pinzone, I think is what it's called, and it's a 50 by 54, and I don't know the makeup of the cigar yet. I'll probably get into that into the next segment, you know, because why would I do research beforehand? Anyways, so but Adventura is a brand that I haven't checked out before, so very excited for this one. I am going to not waste any more time, and I'm going to get into it right now. So almost a perfect cut right there, if I do say so myself. Cold draw. Very chocolatey. Wow. Lots of chocolate notes right there. Once again, I always end up getting at least a few bits of filler in the mouth, but I'm pretty sure that's standard. So, lots of cocoa, a little bit of coffee there, but a little bit of that kind of bitter chocolate flavor. So let's go ahead and light this baby up and see what else we get. There we go. Wasn't quite getting a good toast on there, but that aroma is spectacular. Spectacular, spectacular. Comment if you know what that's from. More of that chocolate. Definitely lots of cocoa with a little, well, not a little, quite a bit of spice right there. Had to work at that just a little bit. The draw is a little on the tighter side. I'm not a huge fan of a tight draw, but then again, who is? But yeah, definitely getting a lot of that kind of chocolate, a little bit of woody notes, tasting some cedar right there, I think. But yeah, lots of cocoa, hints of coffee. Man, that's a tight draw. Hopefully, as the cigar warms up and I kind of work my way down just a little bit, it'll open up a little bit more, because I'm having to work at that quite a bit. It's a very tight draw. Very well constructed. I think it was packed a little bit too tight maybe at the cap, because I'm feeling a little bit more give down towards, you know, throughout the body of the cigar down towards the foot, but up at the shoulder and the cap, very tight. Mm. Oh, oh, that was nice. That was nice right there on the retrohale. Opened it up in a nice kind of like, once again, like usually when I do a retrohale, I get like open it up with really bready, very tasty notes. Opened up the chocolate a little bit more to where I'm getting a little bit more sweetness instead of some of that bitter chocolate I was getting. But it was tasty. That was very tasty right off the retrohale. But it's a little bit bitter on the back end. I'm not gonna lie. I'm getting some very bitter notes on the back end. Kind of. It's a little bit earthy and a little bit kind of like that soil type of flavor you get on some cigars. But usually I kind of get those more towards the end of a cigar, but getting that a little bit early on. But it's still early on in the cigar. Barely even worked my way down. So I am going to get with that first third and see what shakes loose. And yeah, you guys will get to hear my thoughts when I'm all done. Goody. Yay. Okay. See you guys in a sec. Alright guys, back after the first third. Might have let it go a little bit too long, but we'll see how it goes. But finishing up the first third of the Adventura The Navigator, and it is a very tasty smoke. Still getting some of that cocoa, a little bit of spice. I'm getting some charred wood, definitely. There was a point where I was a little bit concerned because I felt like it was getting a little bit too bitter, and there was too much of that charred burned flavor. I don't know if I'm sure a lot of you guys know what I'm talking about with that, because it kind of has a bitterness to it, and I felt like it was kind of mucking up the flavor profile, at least as I was experiencing it, because it was just one of those things from like, I really hope that this doesn't turn into something where as it progresses or transitions, I'm just getting burnt charred wood, because that as a flavor note isn't so bad as long as it kind of has a little bit more complexity, if that makes any sense. If it has something else going alongside it, something else happening alongside it that complements it and kind of gives it a more balanced flavor profile. But thankfully it did balance out, and it's still got a nice smooth flavor. The draw has opened up quite a bit. I haven't had to work as hard to draw through the cigar. Smoke output is excellent. Burn is a little bit wonky. I have corrected it once or twice, not obsessively so like I normally do. The ash hold, nothing to write home about, but then again, I don't always care that much about ash hold because it's not a huge thing for me. It speaks a little bit to the construction, but not so much to where I'm like, oh well, if the ash hold sucks, then the cigar is not made very well or whatever. No, this is a very well constructed cigar, very well rolled, a little bit too tight, but at the same time it's not getting squishy, it's not getting too soft towards the foot or towards the end of the burn here. It has a little bit of give, but it's still staying solid throughout. But still getting some of that cocoa, woody notes, bready notes, a little bit of spice. Retrohale's very smooth, not too spicy. Like it a lot. Smoke output's good. As you can see. So, but I'm enjoying it. And I'm getting some it's just really, really tasty. On the tip of the tongue, back end is where more of the charred wood notes kind of lie. And but yeah, it's an excellent cigar so far, and I'm liking it a lot. So I'm gonna get through that second third, and we'll see what's what then. So see you guys in a sec. Alright guys, here I am back again, and got a little chilly, so threw on a little hoodie, just relaxing and enjoying the end of the second third of the Adventura The Navigator. And this cigar has started to transition into some very deep and rich flavors. Like the cocoa and kind of the chocolatey flavors are still hanging on really well. Really just, again, like I said, full, rich flavor and getting a bit more bready. Some of those woody notes have become a little more subtle. There's still a bit more spice, not so peppery as much as it's kind of like a baking spice. A little bit of nutmeg in there, maybe getting a hint of cinnamon, but it is tasty. This is a good cigar, and I'm glad that this is the one that I picked tonight to review, because it is just delicious, and I'm enjoying every second of it. And it's not getting hot down towards the end. Construction's maintained really well. The ash doesn't hold very much, but again, I don't put much stock in that. But the flavors are just incredible. I'm really liking it, and it's just kind of this smooth transition into really kind of deep chocolatey flavors, a little bit of woody notes, some earth, some soil. Getting maybe even some hints of leather in there, which I like. And yeah, just a very tasty cigar. Enjoying it very much. And that's really all I got to say about that second third. If this final third is anything like the second, it's going to be really good, and I think I'm going to be taking this all the way down, and it's going to be fantastic, I think. So anyways, I'll be back with those final thoughts in just a sec, so sit tight, and I'll be back with you in just a sec. Okay, guys. Coming to the very end of the Adventura The Navigator, and I'm loving the end of this cigar, which sounds kind of funny, or at least as I'm hearing myself say it, because just I'm getting so much more flavor towards the end of it, and I'm feeling just so relaxed and just enjoying the profile of the cigar so much. Really just great bready notes with that spice. The retrohale is really smooth. I've noticed in some cigars, especially some of the more bold profiles, and I realized I didn't even give a single bit of the makeup of the cigar. At this point, I think it's kind of it's a little late for that, unfortunately. Didn't do my research, but I'm really liking just how well blended the cigar is, and how the flavors transition kind of from that initial bitter chocolate and some of that spice with the earthiness and stuff. I'm getting a lot of leather, and again, the chocolate flavor is still kind of hanging on the cocoa and everything like that. It's pretty subtle, but it's still there. Very slight hint of sweetness, especially when I get those bready notes. But I'm loving kind of just the earthy boldness and the rich flavor of the cigar. And I want to thank my friend JJ for suggesting this, because she, like with a few other people on the Dad Smoking Cigars Instagram, she just said, try this, just cause, you know, she pointed to it with like a little drawing arrow, and she said, like, you know, just, this looks cool, smoke it, and I hope it's good. And it turned out to be very good. So I'm really glad that she kind of made that the deciding factor for me. But it's a really good cigar. I'm really liking it. And yeah, I got one other Adventura cigar that I'm really looking forward to smoking, but this one was a nice first experience that I'm glad that I decided to go with. So thank you again, JJ, if you're watching this. But yeah, really good cigar. Great, and not getting too squishy towards the end. And even as I put like my fingers up towards the end of the where the burn line is, it's not too hot. And I was told by my sponsor actually for this channel, Luis Cuevas Jr., who said that you know that a cigar is well made when you can put your fingers up near the burn line and you're not feeling the burn or too much heat. And I'm definitely, you know, I can feel the warmth and things like that, but it's not like burning my fingers or anything like that towards the burn line. So I know this is a well made, well constructed, well blended cigar. Very good, very tasty. So good pick, and I'm glad I went with this one this week. Incredibly tasty cigar, so I like it a lot. And so I'm going to go with my final thoughts and my rating. I think I'm going to go, as far as my rating goes, with construction, flavor. The burn was a little bit wonky at times. It kind of straightened out towards the end. I haven't had to correct it much. I haven't had to relight it once, so that is definitely a great earmark of a good cigar. But it was, with everything added up, I think I'm going to give this one a solid 91. Really great smoke, good smoke output, good construction, good flavor. I like it a lot. It transitioned into some very smooth, tasty flavor notes, and it kind of, if I had to give it like the strength of it, I would say it's a good medium plus, not exactly full-bodied, but very tasty cigar. And I love it. I love it a lot, and I'm glad that I got to smoke it. So those are my final thoughts on the Adventura The Navigator. and you guys should definitely give it a try. I'm looking forward to trying more from Adventura. It's once again new to me in terms of like what I'm trying. Dad Smoking Cigars, it's always been about the boutiques. We love finding hidden gems and stuff like that. But just kind of giving you guys a heads up, this is obviously going to come out on Friday, so it's going to be July by the time this video airs. Is going to be the last review that I do technically for the month of June, and leading into July. And in the month of July, since it is obviously a month focusing on Independence Day, 4th of July is coming up this weekend. Kind of crazy that we're already coming into July, and with the craziness that's going on, I hope you guys have fun celebrating our independence, and I really hope that you guys have fun, stay safe, and enjoy yourselves. But focusing on, you know, July being kind of like being the celebration of our independence and our birth as a country, I'm going to be focusing on the theme of heritage. So I'm actually going to be touching on some heritage cigars, heritage brands, ones that are pretty popular, well-known, bigger names than cigars, just as kind of a fun theme to focus on for the month of July. So I'm going to be doing that for July, and I hope you guys are excited about that. I'm looking forward to it. I got a few heritage cigars that I'm looking forward to smoking and trying, and it's going to be a good time, I think. So that'll really be the first time on Dad Smoking Cigars that heritage brands have kind of been a little bit more of a focus, and so yeah, I'm going to be doing that, so I hope you guys are looking forward to that. I definitely am, but I definitely love checking out and trying new boutique cigars and things like that are new to me, and I appreciate your guys' recommendations. I appreciate and love all your generosity and people who will occasionally send me cigars to try and review and things like that. It's a huge blessing, and I'm so grateful for it. So thank you to once again to Bellafuma Cigar Brokerage for sending me this cigar among a few others, and I'm grateful that I got to try it and have fun with it and enjoy. Hope you guys enjoyed this Fresh Review Friday. Yeah, guys, if I don't talk to you or see you, obviously enjoy the holiday and be safe celebrating our independence. I know things are crazy right now, but I hope you guys have fun and enjoy yourselves and be safe and healthy. So that's it for this week. Thank you guys again for joining me, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Hey guys, thanks again for tuning into this episode. Hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and also follow Dad Smoking Cigars on dads_smoking_cigars on Instagram, and be sure to check us out on Facebook. Until then, guys, stay smoky, and I'll see you in the next one.